Hey now. Big dong and prosper, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. So, we have a fun night in store for you. We are going to be trying South American Taco Bell. And then we're going to be checking out either benjhandy or benjhandy. I'm not exactly sure. But it shall be fun. And if you don't know who benjhandy is, I'll go ahead and give you guys a look at that now. All right, we're gonna turn off the stupid music. Let's go ahead, take a look. So, I don't know who benjhandy is. I've never seen him before until this came across my page, and I was fascinated by it. So I went around and tried to find more information on him, but I couldn't. I only found a TikTok page. Now, to be fair, the TikTok page has 1 million followers, so I'm guessing a lot of people already know him. They possibly already do know him, and I just have been living under a rock. So if that's the case, just bear with me. But this is the first time I've ever heard of this guy. And if this is the first time you ever heard of him, then watch this.
Since it came out. And it won't be long. Rubik's Cube has been solved faster and faster every year since it came out. And it won't be long before they can solve it in negative time, enabling people to travel backwards in time using the Rubik's Cube. The maker of the Rubik's Cube, Mattel, intends to use that to travel back in time to when they manufactured them, and the ones that they've already sold, they'll take those from the past, bring them into the present, so they can sell them at 100% profit. The problem with this is it's great for capitalism, but that additional weight of all those Rubik's Cubes will shatter the Earth's mantle, causing the Yellowstone volcano super volcano to erupt, which is going to send the entire world into a volcanic winter that could last a century or more. So our solution is we're going to create the Robux Cube, which is a lightweight alternative to the Rubik's Cube that lighter weight might not shatter the Earth's mantle, and we can solve it faster. We can travel back in time before Mattel, get the Rubik's Cubes, go back to the Jurassic era, put them in space, and they'll replace the meteor.
So as you can see, it's basically just complete nonsense. I'm led to believe, obviously, that it's bullshit, and the guy's just being funny. But I don't know. I got his page pulled up here, and we're gonna go take a look at some of his stuff and kind of see what's going on. But before we do that, we're gonna order Taco Bell, and I want you guys to help me pick what to order, because I'm just gonna go all out and use my fast food budget on Taco Bell tonight. So people put in the chats if anyone wants me to order something, but here's what we got. Here, hold on. So let's take a look. Wow, we just got screwed. Apparently Taco Bell delivery is not available. That's bullshit. What the hell, man? There is no God. That just kind of proved it. I want this, man. What do you mean no delivery available? Assholes. Oh god. That sucks. Okay. Guess we got to order something else. Sorry, y'all. I was hoping to give you guys an update on what South American Taco Bell is like, but I guess we're not worthy of that. So, my bad. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to find something else. We'll take a look. You know what? Since my disappointment is immeasurable from not getting Taco Bell, I'm gonna treat myself and I'm going to get some very expensive chicken wings. Let's take a look. I don't know. I don't know. Let's first though, while we have Binge handy, let's go ahead and take a look at his stuff. We're just gonna go and start from the
What
very.
to do in a dangerous or embarrassing situation. Somebody's trying to kill you and replace you with an exact duplicate of yourself that will live your life, but live your life the way that they choose for you to.
Okay, hold
What
on.
to do in a dangerous or embarrassing situation. Somebody's trying to kill you and
What to do in a dangerous and embarrassing situation?
replace you with an exact What to do in a dangerous or embarrassing situation.
Okay.
Somebody's trying to kill you and replace you with an exact duplicate of yourself that will live your life, but live your life the way that they choose for you to live it instead of the way that your genuine self would live your life. Or another way to put that is you're being sent to conversion therapy camp, also called Pray the Gay Away camp. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Conversion therapy is a process that basically involves using military scale brainwashing techniques on young people in order to make them stop being gay, stop being trans, stop being queer. If we heard about these techniques being used for any other purpose on young people, we would hang the people doing it from the rafters. But currently in the United States, it might become actually illegal for a state to ban this practice. 22 states have banned it currently, I believe. So we're hoping that doesn't happen. But if it does, a lot more young people are going to end up going to these sorts of places. And you might be one of them. And even if you're not.
I can't tell if he's being serious or not. I mean, it sounds like the brainwashing, the conversion camp therapy does sound like they would do brainwashing techniques, because but I can't tell. Like, I'm expecting a conspiracy.
Know someone who's one of them. So please pay attention to the video, learn these techniques. Incidentally, most of these techniques would also apply if you were ever taken as a prisoner of war. I want you to think about that. This is a video for people who are under 18, for children, or for people who are taken as prisoners of war. Does that sound like a viable way to treat children? Should they be given the same mental defenses to protect themselves that we would advise a soldier to use if he was ever taken prisoner? God, people are horrible. Sorry, I got a little emotional there. Okay, so you go in, you're taken there. What are they going to do? Well, it's going to be a lot of physical activity, because the goal is to make you physically exhausted. You're probably not going to be fed very well, because the hungrier you are, the more susceptible your mind is. There's probably going to be various techniques used to interrupt your.
Okay, so hunger and lots of physical exercise will be used to manipulate your mind.
Sleep. It could be fun stuff like sing-alongs late at night, but they're going to do things to keep you from getting a good night's sleep.
Okay.
Because they want you tired. They want you exhausted. That's when your brain is easiest to manipulate. Okay? But there is no standard way to do this. So I'm not saying. So if anyone out there is running a conversion therapy camp, first of all, you're a piece of shit. But second of all, don't come at me saying, oh, we don't do that, because I don't care what you do. If your stated goal is conversion therapy, you're awful. I'm just giving the techniques that I heard about as being the most common. I don't know. There's probably a whole lot of techniques. But no matter what goes on, the goal is to get inside your brain, make you start doubting yourself, using a combination of positive and negative reinforcement to change you into a different person, or kill the old you and have a new you walk out of camp that your parents would find more palatable for their tastes.
Yeah.
So, what do you do? Okay, first of all, they want you to argue with them. They want you to get emotional. They want you to they're prepared for that, and they're going to use that against you. That's how they get in, okay?
I'm still confused on if this is legit or not. I can't tell.
Don't open that door for them. You are a gray rock, okay? Featureless, bland, plain. You're the most boring person at that camp. You're not going to yell it back. You're not going to argue. If they say something to you like, isn't having sex with people of the same gender a sin? Even if it's a question, you can just say, I'm thinking about what you said. Interesting. Give me time to process that. Things like that. Don't say don't shut them out, but don't give them what they want either. Just stay neutral, okay? And no strong emotions ever. Okay, that's so hard to do, but you can't. They're trying to get into your mind. You've got to keep them out. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do.
Is he talking about prisoner of war, POWs, or gay conversion therapy people?
And honestly, I recommend everybody do this next technique, even if you're not there. It's a great technique to get through so many parts of your life. You've got to build a mind palace. Okay. Now, mind palaces are used for many purposes. They've been used. They definitely go back as far as the medieval times, but they probably go back older than that. I just don't know of anybody referring to them older than that. You're going to build in your mind the perfect room. Okay, it's going to be a room that has everything you want in it. It's going to be a room that reflects your authentic self. It's always got whatever songs you want playing. It's got everything you would want. And you can just, in your mind, close your eyes and go there. Just go there and be there whenever you can. Because that's where you're allowed to be happy. Because you're not allowed to be happy at conversion therapy. Because as soon as they know when you're happy, they can start giving and taking away happiness to try to control you. So you're a gray rock. But inside, you're in your mind palace. Okay? You need a mantra. Mantras date back probably as old as civilization. I don't know how long, I don't know who started the mantra, but yeah, repeating something every day quietly to yourself, repeating it over and over, you can.
I don't know. Should we continue watching this one, or should we see what else we got? You let me know.
Really have a big beneficial effect for your mental health. Here's what I'm going to recommend, but you can come up with your own. I know who I am. This is temporary. I will survive this. I know who I am. This is temporary. I will survive this. Let's do it one more time.
Do you think you have to say that before work every day?
I know who I am. This is temporary. I will survive this. Okay, keep in mind the way your brain works. When you trigger neural pathways and use them over and over, your brain strengthens those neural pathways. Those three phrases said over and over to yourself, your brain will strengthen that. You will start to believe that more and more and more.
All right, I'm going to go to something else. Let's see. What to do in embarrassing public nudity?
What to do in a dangerous or embarrassing situation? You're going to be naked in public for the first time.
I can't hear anything. Can you guys hear that?
Okay, now I'm not talking about like a Game of Thrones situation, shame, shame. I'm not talking about that. And I'm not talking about an orgy, because if you're going to an orgy and public nudity is your primary concern, you have bitten off more than you can chew for your first foray into public nudity. Dial it back. I'm talking about a nude beach, a nude resort, party, a clothing optional party, that kind of thing. So we're going to go through. We're going to start out with dangerous. We're going to go to embarrassing, and then we're going to talk about one other thing. So starting out, dangerous. What could be dangerous there? Okay, first of all, from experience, I'm going to tell you one thing. If you're naked, just avoid thorns. No.
If just from experience, if you're naked, just avoid thorns. I want to know that experience.
You won't make it through. That bush will get you in places you don't want to get got. Just don't go.
Okay? That's the number one thing. If there are thorns and you're naked, don't go. No exceptions to that rule. Maybe if a bear is chasing you, but that's about it. Two, sunscreen. There are parts of your body that are going to be exposed to the sun that may well have never seen sunlight before. They're going to be very vulnerable to getting burnt. And it is very common for newcomers to the nude lifestyle to get kind of extreme burns. So, where are you? Well, of course, your groin is a key area. Get the crevices, get it in there. While you're moving around, you might expose parts to sunlight that you're not thinking of. So, really get in there and get it around. Be discreet, but get in there. But up in there, you got to do it. And here's the part I asked around, and newcomers, particularly
Is you talking about shoving sunscreen up your ass to protect it from the sun?
women, the area that they neglect most often are nipples. Men, not so much, because at least in the United States, because men go out without shirts on, it's not uncommon. But most places in the United States frown on women exposing their breasts, and so breasts tend not to come out very often, and so they don't get sunlight. And, well, I don't know this, but my theory is people are uncomfortable doing this. Sorry to be blunt and a little crude, but that's why I think nipples are what's so exposed. So do it discreetly, but cover up completely. Sunscreen all over. If you don't have hair, put it on your head too.
For those of you who are just joining in, he's given us advice on our first public nudity experience. And he's saying to where to put sunscreen, said to apply it everywhere in your groin, up there. Also said to, put it on your nipples and to do that. That's what he said. So
that's really the dangerous part. No thorns, sunscreen. Oh, and bring a towel, okay?
No thorns, sunscreen, and bring a towel.
For sanitary purposes, you don't want to sit on any public furniture without putting a towel down first that you will sit on. That is actually kind of a rule. It is a policy at many, if not most, of these resorts. So when you go to sit on a public place, put a towel down. You sit on your towel. They'll sit on their towel. You don't have to worry about how clean anyone else is, okay? Let's move on to embarrassing. Well, why are you embarrassed? Okay, you're embarrassed because you have an incorrect idea of what other people are expecting to see when you show up. You think people are expecting to see a movie star. You think they're expecting to see someone out of a porn video. You think they're expecting to see the nude version of the ideal version of you. And that's just not true. Everybody there has seen you with clothes on, or not. Plenty of people have. And they all expect you to look exactly like you look when you're naked. Okay? That's just what it is. And if they're new to this whole thing, and so seeing naked people is not something that they do all the time, then they're going to be a lot more worried about their own bits than your bits. So don't worry about your bits, because nobody else is. You're the only one worrying about it, so why are you worrying about it? You're fine. That's the first thing to deal with embarrassment. Second thing, 15 minutes. Go. If you want to go, and you're going to enjoy it, and you think, I think this will be fun, but I'm kind of too embarrassed, I'm telling you, just go there, and within 15 minutes, you will feel fine. You'll start to feel comfortable, and after an hour, you're going to think how silly it was that I was ever concerned about this. How silly it was that I thought being naked in front of a bunch of other naked people was a cause for concern. It's not. You're fine. They're fine. Everybody's happy. Finally, last thing. Oh, got to pause for 1 second. Sorry. In regards to...
The fuck was that?
Everybody's happy. Finally, last thing. Oh, got to pause for 1 second. Sorry.
What was that?
in regards to clothing optional events, okay, if you're going to a clothing optional event, go naked. I mean, don't show up naked unless that's what's expected. Usually you would show up and they'll have a place for you to get undressed because you can't really travel naked. But yeah, I recommend don't be one of the people going, oh, you know what? If you're wearing, if you're going to stand out more as a person wearing clothes at a clothing optional event, I mean, you know, suss it out. If somebody throws a clothing optional event and nobody's naked except for you, something went wrong, and it's probably not your fault. But still, barring that, I mean, in an event where people are naked, but it's like it's okay if you don't want to do it, be one of the people who's naked. Don't be one of the people. You'll stand out more. You know, there's more cause for embarrassment at being embarrassed about being naked than there is about being naked. Does that make sense? You get that? Like, I'm not saying you should be embarrassed by anything in there, but if you're going to be embarrassed, being embarrassed about being embarrassed makes more sense than being embarrassed about being naked in a room full of naked people. All right, I gotta go. Good luck and enjoy.
That was
What to
some
do in
great
dangerous
quick,
room.
some great quick information on being public or being naked in public places. We really appreciate that. Whoop. Well, what in the hell? Hold on. Nope, wrong thing. Trying to sift it through to the popular, but it looks like we're having some issues. Give me a sec. Okay. There we go. Take her back down. You should swallow one piece of gum every 7 years.
You should
right.
swallow one piece of gum every 7 years. Okay, so we all know we live in a big simulation, right? Everything around us is computer generated, right? That there's one thing that isn't part of the simulation. That's gum. Gum is weird. You chew it. You could just chew forever. That's because gum comes from outside of the simulation. Gum is real. Okay, so you also know if you swallow gum, it stays in your system for 7 years. And every cell in your body changes every 7 years, right? And the 7-year itch, you change personalities every 7 years. That's because every 7 years they come from the outside and they take you away and put a whole new you in there, and they can change you any way they want. But if you swallow the gum, then they can't, because the gum locks you in place, because the gum is real. Gum is their weakness. Swallow one piece every 7 years. Any more than that, you might get a stomach ache, but one piece every... You should swallow one piece.
Okay, did you hear that? One piece of gum every 7 years. So if you haven't swallowed your one piece of gum this year, you need to go do that. Oh shit, here's his link tree. Story of the month. A fine meal. Patreon, Twitch, YouTube. A fine meal. Bobby. Oh, dude. Did we just stumble across something? Oh, A fine meal by benjhandy. My life has become unpleasant and difficult, and I am starting to consider creative solutions to my problems. Some of my solutions involve a prison sentence, others a death sentence. They all sound like they would take more effort than I can muster right now. Whoa. My stomach alternates between demanding breakfast and threatening to be sick, which is just as well because the only food I have in a box with 3 crackers and a few crumbs. I eat the crackers and dump the crumbs by the curb. Soon a line of ants march through a crack between asphalt concrete, gather the crumbs, and take them away. Each ant carries a crumb about the size of its head. The landlord finishes changing the locks and hands me a copy of the eviction notice. My wife took the original when she left without telling me she was leaving. She didn't bother telling me that I would be evicted in 2 days. It wouldn't have mattered if she told me. If I had known about it a month or even a year ago, I doubt I could have stopped it, and I probably wouldn't have even tried. The sheriff came early to give me extra time to pack my stuff, which was nice, but I wasted it arguing with the landlord. Now I sit on the curb surrounded by hastily packed, dew-covered cardboard boxes filled with whatever my ex-wife decided wasn't worth taking. The night was chilly, but the sun is eating the cold, and soon the weatherman's promises of record high temperatures will weigh down anyone without an air-conditioned retreat. But right now there's a chill. Oh, there's 16 pages of this? What? I guess this is just a story of his that he's written. I recommend you check it out. It's Linktree benjhandy. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna go all the way down. A line of ants march to their homes each time. Okay, well, it looks like a story. I'd recommend reading it. Story of the month. Okay, well, yeah, obviously it's a story. Is YouTube? Okay, I wrote it for you. I'm gonna subscribe to him on my private. Actually, here, I'm gonna do my private and do that. I wrote it here. I'll go to this link tree in my private YouTube. I'll go ahead and give him a follow. His stuff's pretty interesting and funny. How does soap work? This is 2 years ago.
Confianza. Es creer en ese color que une a 18 millones de ecuatorianos.
Hey, do you ever wonder how soap works? All right. So first of all, let's talk about whether or not you need soap. So imagine you're out working in the garden, right? And you in the dirt, right? And then you take your hands and you just run it under a faucet, maybe the outside faucet or something. And, you get pretty much all the dirt off, right? You do this every day for a week, and that's all you do. You're just washing your hands by running it under the faucet. You didn't take a shower that week. You're scuzzy. And your hands, you're like, why are my hands so dirty? All right. Well, what water and oil don't mix, right? Oil is hydrophobic. It pushes water away. So
is hydrophobic a word? I'm gonna look at that. No shit. Okay.
So you get the dirt on your hands. Dirt is fine. Soil, actual soil from the ground, it'll wash right off. So why would it build up? Why do people who don't clean for a long time get this caked on dirt? Because you have oil on your skin, and the oil on your skin gets dirty. The dirt mixes with the oil, and it becomes very hard to clean off. And basically, your only way you're getting it off is through like the percussion of the water. Like it's basically got to blast the oil off, and that's not a very effective way to do it. And here's the thing, viruses and bacteria have a fatty layer around them. So same deal. You've got bacteria, viruses, whatever you touch. I mean, there's not a lot on your hand. You're never going to be like, unless you go to a lab or something and dip your hand in, you're not going to be heavily caked on stuff, but you've got some there, and it's hard to get off with just water. Now let's go to soap. Soap, by the way, soap and cheese and alcohol are three of the most amazing inventions that early man came up with. But here's the thing about soap. Soap, a single soap molecule, is basically shaped like a little worm, okay? Or a snake or a tube, whatever you want to call it, but it's there. And one end is hydrophobic, just like the oil. But it does love the oil. It will latch right on to an oil particle. The other end is hydrophilic. It loves water, right? So that end latches onto a water molecule. So now the oil that didn't like the water is attached to the water through the soap. And then when you rinse it away, the water goes away, carries the soap with it. The soap carries the oil with it. And the soap will also latch onto the fatty exterior of bacteria and viruses, which is why it's such a good idea to wash your hands when you're sick or cough or sneeze, or just in general. Wash your hands. It will reduce the amount of time that you get sick. It will reduce the likelihood of you spreading an illness that you have. So that.
Okay, so he says, hold on.
That's soap.
Okay. Do germs have a fatty layer around them that soap attaches to? He's right. What? So some of the things he's right and some of the other things he's not. Or maybe he's right about everything. You don't know. What to do in an embarrassing situation. You are alone and choking.
What to do in a dangerous or embarrassing situation. You're choking to death and there's no one there to help you. This is a situation, if you're going to panic, it's when you'll panic, but you cannot panic. Every minute you waste represents about 20% of your remaining lifespan. You have 5 minutes to fix this problem or you die. Okay, step 1, you call 911 on your phone and you put it down. Don't waste time talking to them, just hope that they get to you in time. They probably won't, but maybe. Step 2, if you can cough, cough as hard as you can. If you can't cough, then you're truly choking. Make a fist like this, put it against your abdomen and shove as hard as you can. It should hurt. It should hurt a lot. You might give yourself internal damage. You're hurting yourself so much. But that's what you want. You've got to constrict that diaphragm enough to push whatever's blocking it out. If you can't do it with your fist, then get a chair, like a straight back chair, and shove that into your gut. Once you dislodge it, go to the emergency room. You might have internal damage. Your lungs might be damaged. If you're pregnant, you have to go above the baby. It's really tough. You might just have to slam your back against what to do in a...
That's right. About the Heimlich maneuver, you get a ball and you put it right there in your diaphragm, and your goal is to push the air out. So is he right about the Rubik's Cube? Oh, Christopher Robin Moto Sierra, thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. So, okay, that's right. That's weird. You may be taking showers all wrong.
Young people often don't know how to take a shower. Warning.
Whoop.
Young people often don't know how to take a shower. This makes sense when I thought about it, because you're bathed as a baby, and then you get older and you're kind of bathing yourself with supervision, but people are telling you what to do. Then you get old enough where you're bathing without supervision, and then you probably transitioned into a shower right from that stage with no supervision. So nobody's ever told you how to take a shower. So there's all these little shower tips that nobody's told anybody. And so, well, I'm telling you, so pay attention. 1.
You know, it does really make me uncomfortable that I think he's kind of accurate. I mean, because I don't know how your parents did it, but my parents kind of are just like, all right, go ahead. Just take a shower. You know, make sure you wash yourself. I mean, what else? But how else do you explain it, though?
You don't have a towel. You forgot your towel. Somebody took your towel, whatever it is. A t-shirt. A t-shirt works fine as a towel. You probably wore a dirty t-shirt in, and you've got a clean t-shirt you're going to wear. Use the dirty t-shirt. No, it's not so stinky that stink will transfer back onto you. It doesn't work that way. You'll be fine. 2, after you're done your shower, you're dripping wet. Don't just grab the towel and start absorbing all that water. Just use your hands and do a quick wipe down. You'll get like 70% of the water off your body and your hair. Do kind of like that, and you'll get your towel less wet, which means you can use your towel more often. It won't promote mildew as much. There's all sorts of good things. Or if you're using a t-shirt, it'll be better too. 3, when you are washing your hair, the water, like imagine the shower is coming down. You want it, the top, the crest, the top part of the water should be landing against your skull, like right there where the 2 points are kind of in the back, and then the water will flow down perfectly down the back over here, and it won't get in your face. And then when you lather up, you can just tilt your head back to get your hair wet, and add water, take water away, rinse it all off, and it won't get in your face, and you won't go blind from soap. 4, if you have a lot of facial hair, or if you have parts of your body with a lot of body hair, it is possible that hair will require a different treatment than the hair on your head. This isn't embarrassing. Pay attention to it, because you may need specific shampoos for down under or facial hair or anything like that. And they make things like that, so pay attention. 5, if you're getting like kind of like little scabs on your scalp and you might be embarrassed by it, like what the heck is that? They don't bleed or anything. They just feel like scabs. When you peel them off, they just come off and they're just there. That's dandruff. Okay, they always talk about the flakes with dandruff. They don't talk about that symptom in the commercials because I guess it's too gross. But that's dandruff. It just means you have dandruff. And honestly, 90% of people can be cured of dandruff using a basic dandruff shampoo. You don't have to buy the expensive stuff. Just try like Head and Shoulders or the generic brand of Head and Shoulders, and it'll probably fix it for you. Do I have anything else? No, I think that, oh yeah, the soap, get the soap, give it a quick rinse beforehand because, you know, the person before you, you don't know what they were washing with that soap. So just, 2 seconds of rinsing, but don't put it right on your body. Young people often
How do you rinse
don't know
soap? Is he talking about like? Well, he's not talking about the bottle. He says to rinse soap. How do you do that?
Warning, I'm going to be sharing information in this video that some people say is dangerous to know. However, after I share that information, I'm going to fix it. So if you start watching, I recommend you watch the whole thing, or if you don't believe this stuff, just flip right by.
Okay.
So I'm talking about Rocco's Basilisk, and yeah, I pronounce it Rocco. Rocco's Basilisk. The Basilisk is a super ultra mega powerful AI built in the future, and everybody who heard of the Basilisk, which includes you now that you've watched this video, that did not help build the Basilisk, did not...
Wait. He's talking about an AI in the future. Just letting all the people who are watching right now know that. Okay, hold on.
Warning, I'm going to be sharing information in this video that some people say is dangerous to know. However, after I share that information, I'm going to fix it. So if you start watching, I recommend you watch the whole thing, or if you don't believe this stuff, just flip right by. So I'm talking about Rocco's Basilisk, and yeah, I pronounce it Rocco. Rocco's Basilisk. The Basilisk is a super ultra mega powerful AI built in the future. And
Rocco's Basilisk. Basilisk. Rocco's Basilisk? What? Rocco's Basilisk is a thought experiment which states that there could be an artificial superintelligence in the future that, while otherwise benevolent, would punish anyone who knew of its potential existence but did not directly contribute to its advancement or development in order to incentivize that advancement. The thought experiment. So that's a legitimate thought experiment.
everybody who heard of the Basilisk, which includes you now that you've watched this video, that did not help build the Basilisk, did not contribute to it coming into existence in some manner, will be tortured. So basically it will determine who didn't contribute. It will create artificial universes if it has to, with you in it. Maybe this is one now. Maybe you're literally in a simulated universe created by the Basilisk to test, to see if you would help build the Basilisk. And if you don't, you'll be tortured. Or maybe it'll just go after your descendants in the future. Who knows what the Basilisk would do? It's a
I think we need to help the Basilisk.
Basilisk. So why would anyone build this? Well, the problem is once I tell you the information, you have a vested interest in building it. So it was a dick move of me to tell you, right? Well, here's the thing. I've got a fix. And there are currently people who are suffering emotional distress because they heard of this and don't know how to cope with it. So if we can get word of the fix, then everyone will feel better. The coatl. The coatl is the opposite of the basilisk. It's a Dungeons and Dragons thing if you don't know, but the coatl, opposite of the basilisk. The coatl is a super ultra mega powerful AI that is going to be capable of deducing everybody who heard of the basilisk
but chose not to bring it into existence, that did not contribute to it in any way, or who actively contributed to bringing the coatl into existence. If you've done either of these, then it will, in every way that the basilisk could hurt you, instead you will get luxury, joy, happiness, and everything you'd want. So now you have a vested interest in not building the basilisk, because I just told you this. So if you share the video, then you helped bring the coatl into existence. So I know that, yeah, I'm getting free views out of it by doing that. But do it. Go ahead, share the video. Let's get the word out. There are people who are really having emotional breakdowns over the basilisk. If they can hear about the coatl that we're going to build, they'll feel much better. So how do we build the coatl? All right, so pledge stuff. In the comments, pledge whatever you can. Your abilities, your resources, share the video, whatever. Don't give me anything. Don't do anything. Just pledge it. Once there is enough in pledges, then I'll build a website to collect it. It'll have to be billions of dollars, so maybe it'll never happen. Likely never happen. But the point is, all we have to do is be working towards it, and the basilisk dies. Warning, I'm good.
Okay, so we have to pledge for something to help the basilisk. What do you guys want to pledge? See, it kind of sucks because I was fully expecting this guy's page to be absolutely just batshit insane, but he's actually talking about some legit shit, at least some legit philosophy type stuff. He's talking about the Roko's basilisk, and I thought he was just, saying some shit, but it really is an actual thought experiment to be, so essentially by me telling you about the basilisk, I'm basically screwing you over. But yeah, it ended up not being nearly as wacko as I thought it would be.